So along the lines of technology and reducing the cognitive load, I'll start with you, Gabe.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you use your additional time due to technology in a valuable way?
Probably not.
So you have the introspection to say, yeah, I might be misusing some of
I
it.
100%. If I could have like, for instance, let's use the vacuuming example. If I could have my Roomba vacuum for me while I'm watching something on TV, okay. I don't think, unless there is a demand for me to do something else that I need to, sort of leverage my time in a sort of super efficient way, then there is no need. But it seems like any time I have additional time that's sort of given to me, I sort of use it for whatever I want.
Okay.
It's not repurposed, or like, let's say, repurposed into doing more work, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
I say, okay, well, I'm going to leverage these gains in my benefit. And the benefit is, okay, I get more free time.
Okay.
I think overall, that's what probably will happen in the long run. I think, I don't know, I've heard this concept of people dying of jest, where they sort of get entertained to death almost.
Yeah.
So I think there's a balance, but,
Sure.
Yeah.
Todd, same question for you and your family. What's
Everything that technology helps me do today is the same kind of concept as Gabe. Let's say everything leads to me sitting on my couch and watching TV and being relaxed. Because I think ultimately, excuse me, a lot of people that have work, come home from work 40 hours, 45, 50 hours a week, whatever that is, they just want to relax. But you got to come home, you got to do the dishes. So what do? I come home and I do the dishes, I put them in the dishwasher. So I don't have to wash them by hand. I put them in the dishwasher to do my next chore, which let's say is, I'll just put one out there that I really never do anymore, mopping the floor. Well, now I'm going to mop the floor with the latest and greatest technology, maybe my Roomba, and say, hey, Roomba, go ahead. I want you to mop this floor. Each of those, whether one leads into me doing the other, I could probably bring one up here. So I went to an event, a retirement event on Wednesday for a guy I used to work with at home. My wife wanted the dishes done. Thomas wanted the dishes done prior to us leaving and everything.
Sure.
And she knew I was going to be at this event. So Tuesday night, she said, so we got to do these dishes still. I said, well, I'll do them after I get back. Right. But then there were other things I had to do too. I had to pack after that. So I went and I did the dishes and I let the dishwasher do the dishes so I could go pack. So then I went and packed. Now there's no technology that's going to help me pack. I use my good old two old hands here to fold my clothes and pack and everything like that. But then, going right into, I got a dishwasher at home I can put these dishes into quick, leads me to get to packing quicker, which then leads me to relax. I think it all leads
so unless
to
there's like unless there's like a forcing function for that day for me to use that time in, my, let's say, free time to do something else, then I will. But the default, if like there was a logic tree, the default is relax. There is nothing that says, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But is anybody doing it? I mean, are you doing something that technology helps you do to free up your time to go into the next working thing or the next working thing
during the workday? Absolutely.
You do.
I think
go ahead.
Casey's concept of like free time doesn't exist.
I want to know. Well, let's see. Let's hear what that is.
I am not some workaholic. Like if I get free time at the end of the day, I'm spending it with my wife. We're watching TV. But during the day, I will eke out every bit of efficiency I can. If I can have AI do a thing for me so that I can do another billable thing, I will 100% do that over everything else, at least during the day.
Sure.
Okay, outside of work.
Outside of work. Yeah, it is probably the same thing.
Because I'm going to do the same thing at work. I'm going to, when I have to work, I work. I'll let Copilot word this for me real quick so I can go into I can do my next thing and outside of work. Where are you?
All right, this is a tough
reflection time.
So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I just work all the time. I don't.
Okay.
But that is where my mind always is. If I can have the dishwasher do the dishes and the robot vacuum the floors, I'm going to think about work.
Yeah, I think that sort of stems when I'm not a psychologist here, but I think since 14, You're sort of in this loop.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
like,
you're right.
maybe
Yeah.
that's what it is. But for me, it's like, okay, I have this free time. I get to spend this free time. Now, I think of it as sort of like I don't know, like a pseudo retirement. Like, for instance, when I got a dog, and I was concerned about how much of my time I would need to allocate just for the care and everything I need to do. So, there was a forcing function behind it to say, okay, well, I need to spend at least 2 hours a day. It needs to go outside and run around, because if I don't, then my couch is going to be bitten to shreds, So maybe with the kids, you're sort of there's a forcing function to do that.
Yeah.
Right. But for me, I enjoy the free time, Yeah.
Yeah, mine is free. I understand the value of work, Casey. And I think obviously you do too, Gabe, and what you need to get done and all that stuff. And maybe it doesn't burn you out, but it does burn me out if I'm going to constantly work.